Welcome. What's going on, everybody? It is 7:46 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for probably an hour. I don't know. We'll see. I did a morning stream. Man, that feels like another day. Feels like a completely other day. But yeah, topic of conversation tonight is what's your least favorite Star Wars movie? We can keep it civil and talk about the silly shit that we don't like, right? It's always fun. No hard feelings. Who gives a shit? You like what you like. You don't like what you don't like, right? So we can talk about that. Or we can talk about whatever else you want to talk about. Yeah. I'm here to shoot the shit while my wife puts my daughter to bed. And that's that. My least favorite Star Wars movie, the more I think about it, the more it might be The Rise of Skywalker. It's kind of a toss-up between The Rise of Skywalker and Attack of the Clones. I don't really remember a lot about Attack of the Clones. I haven't seen it in... the last time that I did watch it was before The Force Awakens came out. Probably a year before The Force Awakens came out. So that was, 8-9 years ago? That's the last time I watched it. But I don't... It's one of the Star Wars movies that I remember the least, because I watched it the least, right? So for the longest time, I always said Attack of the Clones was my least favorite Star Wars movie. But then The Rise of Skywalker came around, and I don't know which is my least favorite out of those two. It's hard to say. Probably Attack of the Clones if I dig deep and try to think about it for too long, but yeah, anyway. Happy World Piano Day. Oh, that's fun, Donnie. I always wish I would have played. Jar Jar Binks, the best character, Devin Wood. I have always wanted to put my Jar Jar Binks mask on and do a Jar Jar Binks stream. I might end up doing that pretty soon. That might be fun.
Mr. Jar Jar Binks, you say people gonna die?
I'm not too bad at a little Jar Jar impression. But to do that for a whole hour and have a conversation with everybody in the chat might be a little strain. Yeah, anyway. Aeronaut says, I love all Star Wars movies, so I rank them by which I would want to sit down and watch the most. So in that regard, my least favorite movie is A New Hope. Oh, man, that's my most favorite. That's the one I would want to watch over and over and over and over again. And I did watch over and over and over again from 1991 to forever. Forever and ever, I watched that goddamn movie over and over again. But yeah. Love it. Thanks, Jason. Yeah. I like doing the Jar Jar impression. And again, I've always wanted to do an entire stream with the mask on and a webcam. And yeah, I don't know why. I've never done it. I think just because the idea of trying to do a Jar Jar voice impression for an hour might just be miserable. Yeah.
The Last Jedi, and not because of Luke's portrayal, that is the best part. You actually made me see the point of that. It is the parts with the resistance that makes me squirm, groan and whine. Oh, and the holiday special.
The holiday special. Sapity, thank you so much for the generous super chat. Oh, one second.
You're a Palpatine. Dun dun dun, it made me laugh cause that's how fans talk. Israel Luffy. Is she a Palpatine? Funny he'd say it like that. Yeah, it's Tross.
Yep. Vince and Sapity, thank you both so much for the generous super chats this evening. Sapity says his least favorite is The Last Jedi, and not because of Luke's portrayal. That is the best part. You actually made me see the point of that. It is the parts with the resistance that makes me squirm, groan, and whine. Oh, and the holiday special. See, Again, we're buddies, man. We all like different things. We all dislike different things, but we get along. We pat each other on the back. We say, "Nuh-uh, you're wrong," and then we do it with a little fun smile, and we say, "Hey, we're still friends," and we high five. Right? That's the way it should be. Some people don't get that, and they're assholes, and yeah. But that's what this is all about. This is having fun. Last Jedi is actually, I think, my fourth favorite Star Wars movie. If I was a little less tired and a little more energetic, maybe I could go into why it is. But it just is, man. It hits me in all the right spots. I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat. What specifically, Sapity, is it about the resistance parts that make you squirm, groan, and whine? I'm curious. Like, I enjoyed the bombing run at the beginning. I enjoyed the space chase. I enjoyed Holdo's maneuver. I guess the Canto Bight was stagnant for me. I didn't really care for it. I like it as a setting, but I didn't really care for the entire story going on there. So yeah, I'm curious, Sapity, what specifically about the resistance parts? Yeah, the holiday special, we can lump that in there. Where does the holiday special rank on everybody's list of Star Wars movies? I used to watch the holiday special every year, years ago. I mean, like for 10 years, I would say I watched it pretty much. I mean, not sitting down intently watching it from start to finish. I would have it on. I might be vacuuming. I might be doing the dishes. It would be on for the hour and a half, however long it is. But I would have it on every single year. And I haven't done that in so long. This holiday season, this Christmas, I should just put it on my TV in the living room, not say a word, and see what my daughter thinks. The 45 minutes of Wookiees just going. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Canto Bight, the casino place. Holdo herself, Rose, not the actress, but the character. So we're clear. The misuse of Leia, the goofiness of the First Order. Yeah, there was. I think I mentioned it in my very first ever review conversation video of the Last Jedi. Oftentimes I felt like the tone was herky-jerky. Now, that was my first viewing. Now that I've watched it, a lot of the problems that I had with it initially have kind of... I mean, that's the case with anything that you watch more than once, right? For the most part, the problems that you had with it kind of smooth out their edges a little bit, and at least for me. But I never had a problem with the character of Rose. I liked her idealism. She was a very attaboy character that I don't know. That had a big heart, and her sister and all that. I never had a problem with the character. Yeah, is some of it cheesy? Yeah, some stuff is cheesy, but some Star Wars stuff is cheesy. Most romance in Star Wars is cheesy as shit. But also sometimes the do-gooder attitude can come off as cheesy as well, if that makes sense. But I never had a problem with Rose. I liked her idealism. Holdo, we didn't see... I mean, I feel like we didn't see too much of her, if that makes sense. I did like her, the hyper... or the light speed maneuver. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Luke's arc, and I think Sapity still to this day, I think Mark Hamill's acting in The Last Jedi is the best acting we've had in any Star Wars movie. Yeah. I mean, what's a close second? Something's got to be a close second. I don't know. For me personally, I think Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi takes the cake for the best Star Wars acting. A close second might be something in Andor. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Sappy, cheers, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, holiday special. Cheers. Vince, Treycar, Jedi Master Troy, Oscar, and Arlen, thank you all so much for the super chats and channel support. I'm long-winded this evening, as I always am. But I will get to your super chats ASAP. Vince says, nitpick of mine, but when Kylo says, you're a Palpatine, dun dun dun, it made me laugh because that's how fans talk. Is Rey a Palpatine? Is she a Kenobi? Funny he'd say it like that. Yeah, it's The Rise of Skywalker. That is funny. I never really thought of it that way. It is would you say it like that in real life, Vince? Like, let's say your last name is Smith, and would you say it that way if you found out that your relative was a guy named Smith down the road? Would you say you're a Smith? Would you say you're a Smith to the guy who just found out he's related to the Ben Smith down the road? Would you say it that way? I guess you would. That's a funny thing to mention. I never really thought about that. But when you bring it up, it just, like, I instantly get just a wave, like a wave of warm disappointment over my body. It's like as soon as you bring up the Palpatine Rey, Palpatine even being back, the Rise of Skywalker, I just get a wave of disappointment across my body. It's hard to explain. Like, you just sit back and dream of what could have been, and this is just for me, right? I mean, people's like Sappity's least favorite movie is The Last Jedi, so his wave of disappointment is very different than mine, right? So like The Rise of Skywalker is just the big, oh, I wonder what it could have been for me, you know? To me, it was them filling in the blank finally for fans. Oh, that's exactly what it was. Hey, audience. Hey, you get it? Hey, do you get it? Do you get it? That she is a Palpatine, and Palpatine is the character that was in all the other movies. Do you get it? Anyway, Vince. Stupid. Rey, a nobody from nowhere, was beautiful. It's poetic. It's unique. A nobody from nowhere rising to greatness. Not everything needs to be lineage, right? God damn it. Oh well. But I appreciate that, Vince. Trey Carr, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Trey Carr says, Ewoks 2 Battle of Endor because they killed Mace. What? Did they? Battle of Ewoks movies were way before Mace Windu was around, right? Or is this a different character named Mace? Ewoks 2. Let me see if I read this correctly. Ewoks 2 Battle of Endor because they killed Mace. Oh, Mace Towani. Okay. I've actually never seen these movies. You just spoiled it for me. You just spoiled the biggest surprise in all of Star Wars. Mace Towani in Ewoks 2 dies. God damn it, Trey. Can't believe you would spoil that for me. I can't believe you would spoil that Mace Towani from Ewoks 2 Dash. I've never seen them, so I feel like I should watch them and make a video of them. Maybe that'll be my next big video. Anyway, cheers, Trey. Jedi Master Troy, thank you so much. I got Jedi Mr. Troy, I got Oscar, Arlen, A3, and Christian. Troy says, I'm definitely going to go get so much hate for this, but Rogue One is pretty meh. I liked Vader / Battle of Scarif, but characters / story were boring. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Troy. The Rogue One is one of my least favorite movies as well. It might be third from the bottom, to tell you the truth. I actually put Solo ahead of it, just because the more I watch Solo, the more it kind of it grows on me a little bit. It's fun. I don't know. But Rogue One, I don't know. I'm with you, man. I've seen Rogue One a handful of, probably 5 or 6 times since it came out. I got it on 4K. But for whatever reason, I've just not ever been able to get into it. I don't really care for now with Andor, maybe if I watched it, maybe I would enjoy it more. Maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe it would make me appreciate it more. But yeah, Rogue One is pretty low on my list. And I don't really yeah, me neither, Troy. Troy says I don't really get the hype for Rogue One. I don't either. I mean, is it all because of the ending, the last 20 minutes? I mean, yeah, it's fun, but I don't know. It wasn't all that. I didn't really care for it. I remember talking with Chris Stuckman about that when it first came out, because I think we both kind of saw eye to eye on Rogue One. We were talking back and forth. Yeah. I wonder, is he done with his movie? He was directing a scary horror movie. I have to check it out. Anyway, cheers, Troy. I kind of agree. Oscar Rodriguez, good to see you, man. Oscar says, hold your tomatoes, but in my ranking, A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back got knocked down to the upper center, but not top 3. I still enjoy them, but pacing bugs me now. No, I get it. I get it. Middle center is still good, Top 3. So for me, top 3 is purely based on nostalgia. Like somebody who grew up, who was born in the 90s and then grew up with the prequels, that would be their Star Wars, right? So their top 3 is probably very nostalgic and loving towards the prequel trilogy. Mine is towards the original trilogy, and that's all based on nostalgia, and I will fully admit that 100%. So, all these movies and these lists are interchangeable. They can shift. Things can drop off. Things can pop back on. I'm kind of with you. I saw The Empire Strikes Back with the Symphony a few years ago, and as I was watching it, I kind of felt like a little herky-jerkiness in the pacing and the editing in the middle, not in a good way, that I had never really felt before. It's hard to explain. It's funny that you bring that up, Oscar, because I remember afterwards I saw it with my wife, and I said, most people think that's the best Star Wars movie, The Empire Strikes Back. And she said, really? I said, yeah, most people usually put that as the best Star Wars movie. Maybe not their favorite, but it's usually at the tip top of the best Star Wars movie of all time, She was kind of surprised by that. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. Arlen, A3, Christian, and Vince, thank you guys so much. Arlen says, I'm from bad to worst. The Rise of Skywalker. Attack of the Clones, aka Anakin's awkward first date, The Last Jedi. So bad to work. Oh, you put The Last Jedi at the very, very end. Man, that's funny. See, the Rise of Skywalker and Attack of the Clones, I'm with you 100%. The Last Jedi is my fourth favorite Star Wars movie. I think my fourth favorite used to be The Force Awakens, and then just the more I watched these movies, the more I thought about it. The Last Jedi kind of trumped that. But which is really interesting, Arlen, because I think The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi are so polar opposite types of movies that you would think that one of them would be higher on your list and the other one would be super low. Like for me, The Rise of Skywalker is almost dead last. If I think about it too long, it might end up dead last. And The Last Jedi is my fourth favorite. So you got one at the top, one at the very bottom. You know, so to have both of them on the bottom three of your list, it's I bet that's not rare. I bet a lot of people have a list like that, but it is interesting for sure. Anyway, I appreciate that, Arlen. Give it another chance, my friend. Give it another chance. I didn't realize that. I love this, actually. I didn't realize like Sapity's least favorite Star Wars movie is The Last Jedi. Maybe you've mentioned that before, but I don't think so. And Arlen, you're around here all the time too, and I never realized that you. So I love it. I love that like you guys hear me talk about how much I like that movie from time to time, but you always tune in. Like I love it that you guys. I mean, there's so much toxicity and assholishness around these movies and opinions and stuff like that you see all the time. But I don't know. I just love this space, my friends. I just love this space where we can bullshit about silly nonsense like Star Wars, not get offended when somebody likes something or dislikes something that you like or dislike. It's all in good fun, right? Cultivating communities. It's a good time. It's a good time. Anyway, cheers, Arlen. Any of you guys going to Celebration in the chat? I'm curious. A3, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. A3 says The Phantom Menace for me. The Phantom Menace is it's my favorite prequel movie. And again, this is going to be all based on nostalgia as well. The Phantom Menace is my favorite prequel movie. I have a huge soft spot in my heart for it. At the time that it came out, I was 13 years old in 1999 when The Phantom Menace came out. And I remember seeing it, and I remember being pretty disappointed. And I remember the kind of chatter around the comic shops was very negative. All the conversations on the Force.net and whatever forum and even like chat rooms and stuff like that, all negative. It was hard to find positivity about that movie. But the older I've gotten, the more that movie has really grown on me. And I don't think it's any better than I did back in the day, but it's almost like a little time capsule of my life, if that makes sense. Like it's a little benchmark of being 13 years old, new Star Wars movie, the hype for it all. It's like a benchmark of nostalgia, if that makes sense. So I'm very nostalgic for the Phantom Menace time period. That excitement, almost more so than the movie itself. The movie itself just reminds me of growing up in Atlanta and, getting excited for a new Star Wars thing, So The Phantom Menace, my Star Wars list is A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, haha, of course. The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Phantom Menace. I think it's my sixth favorite Star Wars movie. maybe my fifth. If I get into like a really nostalgic headspace and I pull out my vinyl Phantom Menace, Darth Maul or Obi-Wan Kenobi figurines, and I clutch them and I think about, cafeteria school lunches and waiting in line at midnight for the Phantom Menace at 13 years old, it might get bumped up to the fifth. But I gotta be in the mood. Anyway, I appreciate that, A3. I get why it's one of your least favorite. I for sure get it. Trust me. Anyway. Christian Kim, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Christian says, I hate to be that guy, but I prefer episode 9 over any of the prequels. 9 isn't good, but I can at least laugh at the bad parts. The prequel trilogy just makes me snore. I get it. I think I enjoy the Phantom Menace, again, because of nostalgia, and Revenge of the Sith more than The Rise of Skywalker. There's more parts in The Rise of Sky. Well, how can I put this? I don't know. I think I like the majority of the prequel movies better than The Rise of Skywalker. I think I do. Now, despite really enjoying the relationship between Kylo and Rey, I thought they did a really good job with that. Really everything else about the movie was a giant disappointment and kind of my worst nightmare with the creative decisions that they made. So I gotta go with the nostalgia that I feel for the Phantom Menace, and also nostalgia that I feel for Revenge of the Sith. Because I dressed up as Greedo in 2005 when that movie came out. My buddy dressed up as Han, and we went to the midnight showing. So I have a lot of nostalgia and a little bit of love for that movie for more reasons than just the movie, But yeah. Anyway, Christian, I appreciate that, man. I get it. How old are you, Christian? I'm curious if age plays a role in that. I bet you're older than me. I'm about to turn 37. I bet you're 42. You're going to be fucking like 21. If you're still here, I'm long-winded tonight. I apologize, guys. But I appreciate that, man. Vince says, haven't seen more Mando yet, but keep seeing spoilers. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Like the spoiler has no impact on me. One day I'm dodging the internet for The Force Awakens, and the next I could give a fuck. I'm 100% with you. Oh, you're 24. That's funny, man. That's funny. I was way off. I was right in my assessment that I would be wrong, I suppose. Yeah, Vince, that's very true. I'm not caught up on Mando either. I did not watch today's episode, and I did not watch the previous week's episode. Just haven't had time. I did watch an episode today. I watched the third episode for the first time. I enjoyed it. It's my favorite episode of this season so far. The one with the doctor, and Bo-Katan and her going to the covert or the covenant, the whatever, the cult. I thought that was a pretty solid episode. My favorite of this season so far. But I have seen spoilers on Twitter, and it's not like I haven't been attempting to avoid any spoilers at all. Like, I just don't. I'm streaming So, like, I don't care if I get spoiled. It's not, there's really nothing, I don't know. The season as a whole so far hasn't really done much for me, and I'm curious if the 2 episodes that I'm behind on are going to change that, you know. But, yeah, it's funny. Haven't seen more Mando yet, but keep seeing spoilers, and I'm like, oh, look at that. Like, the spoiler has no impact on me. One day I'm dodging the internet for The Force Awakens, and the next I could give a fuck. Sometimes I think we're brothers. We have the same brain. But I appreciate that, man. Cheers. I might screenshot that and post it on Twitter. It's funny.
If the characters in the sequels and prequels ended together at the end of their first movies and had been together between the first and second movies like ANHESP, I believe it would have made them better.
It's like poetry, it rhymes. Arlen, I'm reading this again. Arlen, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support tonight. I greatly appreciate that, man. One sec. I'm gonna close some stuff out. There we go. Arlen says, if the characters in the sequels and prequels ended together at the end of their first movies and had been together between the first and second movies like A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, I believe it would have made them better. Well, yeah, I mean, see, I kind of liked, for me personally, I liked The Last Jedi and how things were split. Rey was off. Rey didn't even meet Poe until the end of The Last Jedi, right? Yeah, that's right. Did they even know of each other? Just through BB-8, right? Yeah. I don't know. I do like the splitting of them. I do. I don't really know how to explain it further, but I think to do once they all got together in The Rise of Skywalker, and maybe it was just because of that movie and the things that I did not like about that movie, which was like 90% of that movie, I kind of wanted them to split up again and do their own thing because I was kind of sick of it. But yeah, I don't know if it would have made it better. I wouldn't want to kind of mulch over the same shit and tread on the same, kind of the same thing that they've done previously. But no Star Wars YouTuber has covered. Arlen, thanks again, man. Star Wars YouTuber has covered this. But think what that throwaway line in Han said to Leia on Hoth about the bounty hunter on Ort Mandel. Wait, Orden Mandlin. Is that? That's not what it is. It doesn't say Orden Mandlin, right? Ort Mantell, right? Ort Mantell. Let me look. Hoth quote. Yeah, well, the bounty hunter we ran into in Ord Mantell changed my mind. Oh, wait. Hold on. Typo. Yeah. What is this? What is he referring to here? Am I having a brain fart? I remember the line. Are you just saying that it has the potential to be like a story, like that throwaway line that we just read has the potential to to like be something. Is that what you mean? I bet there's so many. You could. I'm sure somebody's covered this, right? Let's type this. Throwaway lines in Star Wars. That could be stories. I just typed that. That's okay. Okay. What? Yep. Everybody's talking about what are seemingly throwaway lines in Star Wars that are deeper than what they appear. Or throwaway lines that could be next great Star Wars story films. Okay. Here we go. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel. Well, they already made that. That wizard is just a crazy old man. Star Wars story. Rogue leader. Someone must have told them all about my little maneuver at the Battle of Tanab. Okay, that's Lando. Well, the bounty hunter we ran into on Ord Mantell changed my mind. Standalone novel and new Star Wars canon. Huh, yeah. I have death sentence on 12 systems. You could just have Dr. Cornelius Evazan learning how he got the death sentence on all the 12 systems. You could do that. How exciting. Oh, one sec. Oh, never mind. Interesting. Development between Han and Leia without having to have an entire exposition. Yeah, for sure. Yep, the new trilogies didn't have that. Throwaway line enabled growth between movies that didn't need additional exposition. Absolutely. Maybe that was one of the downsides of having the move like Force Awakens and The Last Jedi back to back. Maybe that was a negative as a whole, having them back to back like that with no time in between. I did like the creative decision at the time to do it that way because it's something different. I don't know how I feel about it now. No. Trust me, VCR. I completely agree. I'm not the type of Star Wars fan who wants every little line of dialogue or every little whatever to be mined to death and all the mystery of everything being ruined, right? Just for the sake of like learning about these throwaway lines. I'm completely with you, VCR. Trust me. Yeah. Anyway. Steven Schinder and the French-Canadian Wolfman, thank you guys so much for the super chats. Steve says, when you talk about your life, I imagine you always wear the helmet, like firefighter with stormtrooper helmet. It reminds me of Jack in the Box fam commercials. Jack in the Box. The Jack in the Box, like fast food restaurant? Family commercial. I don't think I've ever seen Jack in the Box family commercial. We don't have Jack in the Boxes here. I don't think I've ever eaten at a Jack in the Box. Oh yeah, I'm watching the commercial right now from 2000. That's funny, man. Yeah, trust me, the only time I ever wear this damn helmet is when I make videos. Or I used to do like a lot of charity events, but I haven't done that since my daughter was born like 5 years ago. I used to take my helmet all around the place, Steve. Like wherever I went, I would bring my helmet. Like on road trips and stuff. And like, I haven't done that in a long time. I should have brought it up to the mountains with me. That would have been cool. I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't when me and my wife and my daughter went up there. But yeah, man, I used to take it all the way. I took it to like the Adirondacks. I've taken it all over the place, but I haven't done that in a long time. I used to be very I used to like getting pictures all around whenever I could, you know. But no, yeah. If I wore that into a fire, it would immediately melt and mold to my face, and I would not be able to breathe, and I would die. Yeah, no way. I do have a cool Grogu sticker on my helmet, on my fire helmet. I've taken a picture of it before. It's probably posted on Instagram. If you go follow me on Instagram, I'm sure I've taken a picture of it before on Instagram. I'll have to go look. Go follow me and tell me if it's up there. It's within the last year. Anyway. Do I have any other helmets? Yes, I have. So I have my Stormtrooper helmet that I wear. I have the full suit of armor for that. I'm sure you've seen that, Troy. I have a Darth Vader helmet. Dawn Post. It's really nice. Dawn Post Darth Vader helmet. I have a Greedo mask. I have a Jar Jar Binks mask. I have a TIE Pilot helmet. And then I have another Stormtrooper helmet that's not screen accurate, and it's just I let my daughter run around and throw that around and wear it whenever she wants to do with it. So yeah, anyway. French Canadian Wolfman, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Oh, I put in a request for a refund of The Last of Us on the PC. I don't know if you guys heard me talking about it or saw my tweets about it. Purchase was refunded. Oh, nice. I got refunded. Sweet. I did get refunded. Good. Fuck them. Don't put out shitty versions of games. Let me transfer this back to my bank real quick. Sweet. Why is my balance? What the hell? You originally pay total call email refund transaction you refund of ValCorp. But why isn't it showing up in my PayPal balance? Oh well, I'll figure this out later. This is very exciting and entertaining live streaming. Listening to me talk about a refund. The French Canadian Wolfman, thank you so much. Rise of Skywalker is an abomination and the only Star Wars movie that I hate. New Hope is the best. Blunt to the point. I dig it, Wolfman. I think we kind of see eye to eye. A New Hope is the best. The original Star Wars is the best. It's my favorite. I love it through and through. It's the one that I watched the most as a kid. It's just a bright new adventure. Possibilities were endless. I love the movie magic of it. It's just perfect to me. And The Rise of Skywalker, on the other hand, is just a big generic bucket of nothing to me. Has some of the worst ideas in the entire saga. It's just a big bowl of nothing. Yeah. Anyway. I appreciate that, Wolfman. Cheers. I'm with you. Has anybody ever refunded a game on Steam? It shows that the refund is going through, but and I see that it's link your cards. I see that it's like plus. I don't know. Never mind. I'll figure it out. Alright, cool. Is it pending? PlayStation does that to me sometimes. Maybe. Yeah, it show. You know how in the the activity, it shows plus $59.99. Like Valve is refunding me $59 coming into my PayPal account, but in my balance it still shows 0. So maybe it's just pending. It doesn't say pending or anything, but yeah, I did it through PayPal. I kind of feel the same way, Spencer. I always say that as well. Empire is probably the best, but A New Hope is definitely my favorite. That's generally what I say as well. So, do 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 do. Sorry guys, I'm looking at, I haven't looked at the back end of Streamlabs in a very long time. Merch store. They have a merch store on Streamlabs? What? Streamlabs does its own merch, like manufacturing? No way. For real? That's kind of cool. I might have to do that because TeePublic keeps deleting my t-shirt designs. Oh, Cole Schreiber, good to see you, man. Cole, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Cole says 6 weeks out and I started climbing again. 6 weeks? Is that like exactly when the doctor said you should be able to do what you do? 6 weeks. As long as as long as you feel comfortable with it. I guess that's all that matters. What did the doctor say? And I guess climbing isn't like an impact. Well, I was going to say it's not like you're running, it's not like you're bouncing, it's not like you're jumping. It's probably a relatively it's like a pretty low impact thing that there's probably not too much pressure on your spine, right? Where you broke. The doc kind of said start slow, but I felt fine. Okay, all right. Just don't fuck it up more. I'm not trying to be a fuddy-duddy. I'm not trying to be a dad. Don't fuck it up more. I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure you're fine. I wouldn't worry about it. What'd you climb? Was that today? I like this song. Still not snowboarding yet. Yeah, I would hold off on that for sure. I was just bouldering at the gym. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I've never, well, I did that when I was like a kid, like 12 or 13 years old, but I've never tried a rock climbing wall in my age these days. I'd love to. I don't even know. I'm going to look this up. Jacksonville rock climbing wall. Jacksonville Indoor Rock Climbing Gym. The Edge Rock Gym. Oh, that looks cool. I'd love to try something like this. Monthly, let's see how much classes. Monthly workshop. Rope and lead climbing. Oh, this would be fun to just go. Yeah. $35. Top rope belay. Lead climbing. Interesting. Yeah, maybe this would be fun. I'd like to do this. Nice. Yeah, man. I'll if I have any questions, I'll let you know for sure. I didn't know there was something like this in Jacksonville. I definitely want to try this. I'm curious if it would be harder or easier than I think. To do like one of these indoor rock wall things. I don't know. An hour for 35 minutes. That'd be worth it. Or $89 for a 3-hour session class. Learn stances, clipping, dynamic, belay. I took a week-long rope class not too long ago. I'm catching falls and finally taking the whip. This class been failed. This class can be failed as lead climbing is consumed. Interesting. Anyway, all right, cool. It's harder than it looks, but good fun. Okay, yeah. All right, I appreciate that, Cole. I feel like I always look some cool shit up whenever you hop on. I always figure out my next thing that I'm gonna do. Oh. We're trying to figure out if Cole. We're trying to figure out if we're still gonna do our Yellowstone trip next year. We haven't booked anything. My wife, the place my wife has worked at for like 10, 12 years is actually closing. So we're really trying to figure out some stuff right now. So the trip might have to be put on hold as my wife tries to find something else, another gig. I have no idea how difficult that's going to be in the year 2023. No idea. That pays what she was making, and that is not, she doesn't just want to go work anywhere. She wants to find something that she wants to do, right? So, it's how it is. Chris Galucky, thank you so much for coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream before I jet. Chris says, if you were to make a Star Wars show or movie heavily inspired by any TV show or movie, what would that inspired show or movie be? Wait, let me read that again. If you were to make a Star Wars show or movie heavily inspired by any TV show or movie, what would that inspired show or movie be? Ooh, yeah, oh man, I don't know. So instead of just heavily it's embarrassing, Chris, but the first thing that comes to mind is like I would love a Star Trek The Next Generation style Star Wars show or movie, meaning it's mostly all about exploration. Not everything is like boom boom bang bang Empire, Rebels, all that stuff. I would love a show that kind of, you have the Star Wars galaxy, and that's where the sandbox is, right? For Star Wars, that's what everybody plays in. Well, what if there was a show that kind of just showed the exploration side of Star Wars, where they go outside of the galaxy, the Star Wars galaxy, and they go explore intergalactic space, a less boom boom bang bang side of Star Wars and more like exploration, to me, would be kind of neat. Would be a kind of neat thing. Now, that'll never get made because only assholes like me would want that. People, want their lightsabers, want their blasters, want their, armor and shit like that. But I think that'd be pretty fun. It would be kind of neat to get a Star Wars show that's kind of like a David Attenborough documentary, like a Planet Earth, but like just about the like a Hoth episode or a Tatooine episode. That's kind of like a fake documentary. You know what I mean? Be kind of neat if that makes sense. But anyway, I appreciate that, Chris. I hope I answered your question. It's kind of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul show get me excited. More characters driven based on morality would be neat to see in Star Wars. Yeah, for sure. A lot of moral gray area in something like that as well. Yeah. Brendan Cross, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. The final one before I have to jet. Brendan says, what do you think about Mando making Republic painfully stupid demilitarized in order to make sequels make sense? Hate when show/movie makes people stupid to move plot forward. Legends post OG try is... I needed a goddamn interpreter, Brendan. Legends post original trilogy is so much better. Okay, I think I got it. So I don't know. Interesting. Is that the direction? So I'm not all caught up on Mando. I haven't watched the latest episode, and I have not watched the one before it. I just watched episode 3 of season 3 today, the one with the doctor and all that. So I don't care about spoilers, whatever. I already saw that one of the Rebels characters is in this episode. I'm on the internet. What do I expect, right? It doesn't bother me. I'm curious. I'm curious. How they make the New Republic demilitarized. Like, I'm definitely gonna I'm definitely gonna finish and catch up. We were out of town and I haven't had a chance to watch it all. But yeah, I'm not a fan of moving things forward and, as you said, making people or situations or things like that stupid to progress the plot. I'm with you. But I haven't seen exactly what you're talking about, so I can't really comment on it. Yeah. Well, obviously they got to find a way to make sequels happen. I wish they abandoned sequels. Well, I mean, everything that's going to happen between the Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, everything in between that, any story that's told is going to just naturally lead into those movies just because they're in the interim, So like whatever affects that show in that movie, whether it's Mando or something else in that time period, is going to affect the sequel trilogy, big or small. So yeah, it's just, of course it's going to lead into it, right? In what way? I don't know. Maybe you guys know way more than me right now because I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, but yeah. Yeah. I'll have to watch it. We'll see. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Brendan. You've piqued my interest. I was planning on watching all 3 today of the episodes that I was behind on, but I ended up just watching 1 because I saw that it was 58 minutes long, and the other 2 I would have basically been watching The Mandalorian for almost 3 hours, and I was like, I don't have the time to do that, so I just watched 1, and I'll save the next 2 for maybe tomorrow if I can at the station, or Friday if I can. But yeah, anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. To everybody who super chatted, thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate that support, especially these days. And everybody who shot the shit in the chat, hanging out, thanks for keeping it civil. Thanks for having fun, man. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya.